Hi everyone, welcome to the show. Here we're gonna be talking about we're gonna do a playoff preview for the American League Division Series, Baltimore Orioles versus the Cleveland Indians. And why you ask, am I doing that series, and not any other ones? Well, my team's involved, obviously. You want to see a preview for the other ones? Go do one yourself. So this series pits the AL Central winner of Cleveland Indians versus the wild card winner of Baltimore Orioles. Although, interestingly enough, Baltimore finished with a one-game better record than Cleveland did. Not that that really matters. The team that wins this has a pretty good shot of coming out of the American League. I mean, they're gonna end up facing Tampa Bay because no way Jimmy's gonna lose to Texas. Texas is a bad team. Jimmy is a really good team. But it should be an interesting series between Baltimore and Cleveland. Both teams are very similar. I mean, at least in my opinion. And I have studied both teams pretty well now because I was trying to figure out how to beat Evan's team. But yeah, both teams do pretty much do a lot of things very well and do a lot of similar things. The main thing being is how they deal with plate discipline, walking. Both Cleveland and Baltimore are, well, they are the two best teams in the league in getting base on balls in walking. Baltimore was first in the league with 703 walks, and Cleveland was second in the league with 630 walks. So Baltimore finished with 70 more walks, but still, they're 1 and 2 in the league in walking, which is pretty fantastic. It helped both them finish with top five offenses. Baltimore finished third overall in offense, while Cleveland finished fourth in offense, so that's very similar. And both teams are also really good in not allowing walks. Now, Cleveland finished fifth in walks less. They're top five in not allowing a lot of base on balls, while Baltimore finished first in that also, only allowing 284 walks, and which is pretty amazing, if I may say so myself. 1,500 innings total pitched and only giving up 280 walks. That's a pretty good percentage. But anyways, so really it's going to come down to who's going to the ball's gonna be put in play. So which team feels better and which team hits better, because not a lot of free passes are going to be giving out in this series. On this whole walk thing, both teams, so they like to walk a lot. Baltimore has a bunch of players with really great eyes. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 9 guys who are like over 90 in eye. Cleveland has 1, 2, 3 guys with 100 in eye. A couple more guys with over 80s. Another guy with 70. So both teams walk a ton, and both teams, I mean, they have pitchers with great control. I mean, I keep saying I mean. Baltimore's going to throw out a rotation of 4 starters. 3 of them, Wart, Halladay, and Alvarado, the 1, 2, 3 are all have 99 in control, and the 4th guy, Zimmerman, has a 95 in control. So clearly that negates Cleveland's ability to walk. At the same time, Cleveland has pitchers, namely Perk, Guillemot, and Anderson, who are all over 90s also. Perk and Guillemot are 99s also. Anderson's a 92. The only pitcher in this series who is not a bona fide non-walking stud is Ian Kennedy. Now, right now he's the ace for Cleveland. I don't know if he's going to continue using him as ace in this series, because he was the one guy who I think could get beaten up by giving up some walks. Although he did win, he got no decision in his last start against Baltimore, 6 2/3 innings, 2 runs. But pitching wise, I'd say it's pretty even. Both teams are going to throw out really good starters. I mean, Cleveland finished 9th overall in runs allowed. Baltimore finished 4th overall. So Baltimore, I mean, slightly better. The one great advantage that Cleveland will have is on the base pass. Cleveland was 5th in the league in stolen bases, so a ton of bases. I mean, McCutchen, Chu, Kipnis, they all really good. They all stole more than anyone on Baltimore stole. And with Santana behind the plate, his 10 arm, Baltimore probably isn't going to try to run much. Same time, it's going to come down to maybe the series of Ahumada, the Baltimore catcher, how good he does, how well he throws out the runners for Cleveland. So that's a big advantage for Cleveland. When it comes to power, both teams are pretty good in power. I mean, Cleveland has hit 158 home runs over the whole season, which is top 7 in the league, while Baltimore has an advantage here because Baltimore led the league in home runs with 192. Even though no one hitter really even hit 30 home runs for Baltimore, but Wieters, Cabrera, Montero, and Hafner all hit 20 plus. So they have Baltimore has a well balanced power hitting lineup. While same thing really goes for Cleveland. Cleveland top 7 overall. McCutchen and Kitness only guys who hit over 20. Should be an interesting series. Neither team really gets in trouble with lefty righties. Both are good against both lefties and righties. It's gonna be an interesting series. I don't know what it'll come down to. I mean, neither team really is that good a bullpen, and the fact that Baltimore almost traded their closer to Cleveland. We'll see if that comes into play. But Kimbrel and Quo, neither is that great. Kimbrel was 6-5 with a 36 saves and a 4.18 ERA and blew 5 saves, and Quo was incredibly similar. Quo was 6-5 with 30 saves and a 3.43 ERA, a slightly better ERA, but he blew 6 saves. So it should be an interesting series. Neither team, like I said, stands out anyway from the other. I don't know what's gonna be the deciding factor. Looking at it, it's gonna be I think a series is definitely gonna go 5. What happens then? I don't know. Cleveland owned the regular season. Cleveland went 9-4 against Baltimore, the best record of any team against Baltimore this season. The only other team that they were even under 500 against is Detroit, and that was 6-5. That was 5-7, so that's not really that big. But Cleveland beat up on Baltimore, so that does not bode well for the O's, for my team. But we'll see what happens. Both teams, like I said, if they get out of it, they have a very good chance of advancing. I mean, both teams are good matchups, I think, for Jimmy's team. Because Jimmy, to stretch out a little bit, talk about a little bit of Tampa Bay also. Tampa Bay doesn't really walk a lot, so only guy with a great eye is Longoria. And at the same time, he only has 2 pitchers who are like 90 plus in ERA, in Hellickson and Noesi. I mean, McEachern and Price are badass pitchers, but they're low 80s in control, so they could at least bring it to bat their great fielding. I mean, the great the eye, so maybe get a couple more walks against Jimmy's team. I don't know if he'll come to play. Jimmy also walks a lot. I mean, he walks very little. He's 25th in the league in walks, but he does steal out of bases, which means when against Cleveland, Santana would neutralize that. He'd have a little bit better success against Ahumada if Baltimore ended up advancing. And yes, I am totally discounting Texas Rangers because they deserve to be totally discounted. There is 0 chance that Texas advances in the past Jimmy in the first round. I guarantee it. Now, yes, of course, my guarantees automatically, if you've been in the league for a while, you know that I guarantee who would win the Cy Young. Of course, it never happens, and so I'm terrible at it. So I pretty much just guaranteed that Texas would win, which maybe that was my plan all along. Like I said, Baltimore against Cleveland should go 5 games. I hope I win. I don't know what's going to happen. It's 5 games, one way or the other. It's going to come down to which bullpen probably blows less games. So Baltimore, like I said, going Holiday, Ward, Britton, Zimmerman, while I don't know what Cleveland's planning on doing, but if he stays with what he's current, I figure it's going to be something with Kennedy, Anderson, Gilman, and Perk. Latos will probably get knocked out. I don't know, it should be an interesting series. I can't really figure out anything that will separate the teams all that much. Both teams are relatively healthy. Cleveland really hasn't lost anybody meaningful. I mean, Jay Austin doesn't really count for them. So Cleveland's fully healthy. Baltimore in this last game before the playoffs lost their right fielder. But then again, he's hitting 240 this season, so not really a huge loss for them either. That's pretty much it probably for this episode. Comes to the National League, I don't really care. San Francisco should come out of the National League, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. Team with the best record, no OTP, rarely ever does, although I said that last season and I ended up winning with that, so maybe I reverse jinxed it. Speaking of talking about backing into the playoffs, the NL wildcard was ridiculous. That the 4 teams that were up for it, Arizona, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Chicago, they went 5-5, 3-7, 4-6, 4-6, and 3-7. And Chicago backed into it ridiculously, winning it by 1 game. But I don't really care about the National League. Whoever's going to come out of it, besides San Francisco, doesn't deserve to win. Texas, hopefully they lose in the first round to Jimmy, although I'd like to see them win just to maybe piss out Jimmy and also it'd be funny. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'm probably not going to get to do another one before the playoffs, since the playoffs will happen tonight. But good luck to everyone in the playoffs, and peace.